For me, my music is so therapeutic. Swear if I don't get it out, I'm gonna lose it.
All right. Peace to the fam. Peace to the fam. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We are live and direct on the set at Kebulon Unity Alliance with yours truly, Amar Mari. And we have our brother Jasir in the building once again. Indigenous Rhythms LLC founder, conscious hip hop artist, bringing us the tunes to help to transform our minds. As we all know, we have been cut off from our culture. And unfortunately, due to colonization, we have no familiarity with our spirituality, which is rooted within our culture. And our culture does consist of our spirituality. Our culture gets us in touch with our African mind. Our culture helps us to understand ourselves. Our morals are woven in our culture. And our brother music is infused with our culture. Lafayette, brother Jasir, welcome to the platform once again, man. How you doing?
What's poppin' with you, man? How you doing? Our shizzle and all of that good stuff.
Hey,
you take
man.
off all my hats. I got hats on today. I got a lot of hats on today, so I'm just making sure you see the logo.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, all is well, man. I heard you got a wonderful project going on over there. You got the party going on for your album and everything like that, man. So talk to us about, your project and, just tell us what's been going on with you, man.
Man, just trying to get ready to release this project. I'm supposed to release it on Good Friday, this in April. But we just leading up to, I got some more songs coming to it. So what you're hearing right now is not all of it. There's a couple more tracks that are going to be added to it to complete the project and round it out. But the whole thing will be released on April, what's that Good Friday? I think it's the 19th or something this year.
Yes.
I know Easter is 21st, so yeah, it's the 19th.
Indeed, man. So it's some tracks you want the people to listen to, and as you play those tracks thereafter, we'll talk about those tracks. In the meantime, family, if you'd be so kind to share and invite, listen, you getting ready to get a taste of the amazing project our brother have coming out. Listen, I bought the album already. I downloaded it already. Notice I said I bought the album already. I didn't buy a burnt CD from somebody else. I bought the album. You know what I'm saying? So, let us move away from that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm serious. I know it sounds funny, but real talk, we good at black market and stuff. You understand? You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say this because what we do is, and this is real talk right now. What we do is we're robbing the actors, the singers. They work hard. They put in the work. And when you do that, you're taking money out of their pocket. You know what I'm saying? You giving the person money that's selling it out the trunk. They're living good, but you got to understand, they don't see none of that money. The artist or the actor don't see none of that money at all because you're not buying it because it's not copyrighted. You understand? You know what I'm saying? So they see none of that money. So that's the reason why I'm telling you, buy this brother's album. Don't just go to YouTube and take one of his songs and rock that. No, buy his album. Our family sold into his ministry as well. You know what I'm saying? The brother has done a phenomenal job. So let's hear the songs, brother. Without further ado, brother Jasir, you know what I'm saying? Title, name he has as an artist is Blasphemy. Wait a minute, don't touch that dial. He'll break that down later about the name. Go ahead, brother. Just rock the house, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna do the first one. The first one is called Black Couch, and I'll talk about it after we play a little bit of it, give them a taste of it, all right?
All right, let's do it, family.
Greetings, blasphemy. Welcome to a Shaken Counseling Unit, or ICU. According to your intake form, it looks like you've been having some anxiety related to your Pulpit project.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, tell me, what's been going on and how this come about?
I know what y'all asking, what happened? In this life to make them so blasphemous when they rapping. The things he's saying sound so insane, like the salmon upstream, swimming against the grain. Before you prescribe pills, put needles in my veins. Throw me in space jackets, doc, let me explain. The listen come true shows with a fork in the road. You begin to see life doing it pretends the most. For me, started as 12, watching eyes on the prize. My people beat holes down, dogs taking the prize. I walked outside crying, mom followed behind, said, son, what's wrong? I said, mom, tell me why. You people seem to hate us so much that she held me. I looked in the eyes and I knew she couldn't tell me which sin I've been in. Pursuit of the truth before you diagnose the leaves, gotta expect in the truth. For me, my music is so therapeutic. I swear if I don't get it out, I'm going lonely. Time to book a session so I can talk it out, let the healing begin. Home that black cow, black cow, black cow, long time coming, running never been the best round. Black cow, soul bleeding. I can't wait to get it out. Every day, navigate mind vibing, head on the swivel, broken eyes open and focus on what's real. Close, raising the church to keep God first, seeing Jesus at other plans. My people were dead last in every category. Still gave him the glory, plus 10% before they paid the rent. December 25th, showered him with gifts I aim for resurrection. Begged him for protection from overseers, whipstand of crooked cops. The more I read the Bible, the more it thickened the plot. The more it raised flags, the more questions I had. Like, why we gotta die to get what they already have? Why God told Moses to go toe to toe with the Pharaoh, Cameron, let my people go. Release disease, defy nature, split seeds to give his people free, yet never intervene in the horrors of chattel slavery. In my opinion, praising Jesus, clear cut cognitive dissonance.
Wow, this is a lot. This is heavy. How have you been dealing with this?
My music is so therapeutic. I swear if I don't get it out, I'm going lonely. Time to book a session so I can talk it out. Let the healing begin. Home that black cow, black cow, black cow. Long time coming, running never been the best crowd. Black cow, black
Yes, sir.
cow. So meaning, I can't wait to get it out. I mean, enough is enough.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed, man. So let's talk about it, man. You know, I noticed that song, you know, you had a very deep conversation, you know, with the person that was counseling you at that time, man. It sounded like you had a lot on your mind at that time, you know, that was going on, you know, with religiosity, you know, and a dogmatic mentality that you were dealing with, man. So, you know, talk to us, you know, how do you come up with that particular song, man, you know, and why? You know what I'm saying? Why, you know what I'm saying, that song?
Well, basically, when I started making the project, and I first made the Pulpit song first, a lot of people, family members started, like, you know, moonwalking on me. And I started experiencing different kind of reactions to my new, I won't say belief systems, but my new understandings and the differences in my understandings between theirs. People couldn't understand it. So I just thought I would make a song like I was talking to a therapist about the effects of what I go through, the effects of what people like me and you go through when you start changing your mindset and start changing the way that you view the world, especially specifically religion, how people around you treat you, ostracize you, all that good stuff. So I just said this would be a good idea to write a song, like I said, sitting on a black couch talking to a therapist to let all that stuff out of my system and leave it there. and it came out really, really awesome. I love it. That's one of my favorite songs on the whole project.
Man, I tell you, I definitely love it too, man. So talk to us about your experience, that you had during that time. Let's go a little bit more deeper, man. Let's unveil some things, man. What specifically, were you going through, and how did that affect you mentally at that time, man? If you don't mind going a little deeper.
Well, I mean, people just basically, they thought I was crazy.
Oh,
they thought I was crazy.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I stopped getting invited to stuff, all kind of stuff happened. So it was like, and this is not just around the music time. I'm talking about overall for my whole transformation and transition from the church. It's a combination of it all, not just the music project, but just as I began to change it. I've been changing my ways of thinking probably since 2005, I'll say. But along the way, a lot of people have really that knew about it. They shied away from it, but they really knew more about how I felt when the songs from this project started coming out. A lot of people didn't really know how deep I went until the project came out. So like when the Pulpit hit, everybody thought I had lost my mind. I started getting DMs on Facebook, and family members started calling me out of the blue, like, boy, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Like, what code are you joined or something? Like, they just thought I was losing my mind. And a lot of the ones that was talking that mess, I didn't talk to that much anyway. So I don't really care. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's just the way people view you, man. It's like the way they judge you without studying themselves. They judge you for what you believe as if you didn't study. So I just, it became a song. And on a deeper end, this whole quest for me started before 2005, because it actually started when I was 12, as I mentioned in the song, in the first verse. I wrote that song based around how I got to this point. And from 12 years old, I began, 12 or 11, I began this whole, I'm trying to get an understanding of why these people called, white folks in this society, why do they not like us so much? Used to watch all those shows. Used to watch all those shows. You remember the show used to come on TV, used to be called Eyes on the Prize? Every February they would show Martin Luther King and them marching and the dogs being sick on black people. It used to come on every year. They used to even show it in school. And I used to watch it, and it used to make me mad every time I saw it. And I couldn't figure out why these white people don't like us. Like, why would you allow women to be bitten by dogs and kids to be ran and trampled and churches to be bombed? Like, what would make you hate another group of people so much? I couldn't understand it. One day I watched that, and I just couldn't take it no more. And I ran outside of the house to the front porch, and my mother came outside behind me, asking what was wrong. And I just asked her the question. I said, why do they hate us so much? And she couldn't answer my question. So from that point on, pretty much it was kind of like a mission, and that mission it got fed and watered through the Brand Nubians and the X-Clans and the Public Enemies, and it even furthered my quest once I started understanding, because I didn't hear about Malcolm X until I was in high school, all those things, and started venturing out to see and hear different ways of thinking, which fast forward leads up to now.
Absolutely. So let's really touch on what they thought you were crazy about. Now, let's highlight your spiritual system that you and I both actually follow after. That's why I said I can relate, so let's talk about it. Ifa, you know what I'm saying? So what is Ifa, and how has Ifa impacted your life in a positive light? Because we heard about all the negativity, that was ignorantly thrown on the system that you follow. So, let's talk about the positive side of things, what I'm saying, for one who actually is a practitioner, of the spiritual system.
Well, briefly, 'cause I don't want to go too far into that because this project is not about E5 yet. The next one will be. But this one is more about, the experience I've had in my transformation to coming to E5. But, this is E5. E5 is a traditional system from Western Africa, Nigeria, primarily from the Yoruba people of Nigeria, which is basically not just Nigeria, but West African people. There's a lot of people in West Africa that's from the Yorubas. But it's a spiritual system, man, that helps you to figure out your destiny, plight in this life, all that good stuff. It's not a system for the weak and the weary. It's the real deal. If you're looking to change, I always say, if you're looking to make changes in your life, E5 is for you. But if you're not looking to make changes, you might want to go back to church.
Yes, indeed. So that's why I want to talk about it, because I know that that's really what it is, because that's what people thought you were crazy about. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're following after a cultural spiritual system that, due to religion, they have been taught that is demonic. You know what I'm saying? So from your experience, being that you've experienced, the practicing of it, you know what I'm saying? Would you say that, you've had some positive experiences and that has transformed your life?
I've had some positive experiences. I've had some confusing experiences. I've had a lot of experiences, different emotions, ups and downs with it. Like, I've had some great times where I've gotten some great situations happen. And even when it seems like it's not good, it usually always turns in to be something good regardless, because usually it's just showing you something that you need to see. And you know what? Seeing the truth is hard. So it's never a negative situation. It's just usually always something, like I said, designed to guide you and put you on the path. Even when you think you're on the right path, EFI has a way of showing you if you are or not. And if you're not, it can be painful to get you back on that path. And that's the confusing part.
All right, then. So let's move on to this next track.
All right, perfect. All right, the next one we'll do is called Come Clean. Come Clean. Here we go. I think. Why?
Come clean, don't quit. Tiger shoes, fire disciplation. Blasphemy, no, so many glad I gave in. The temptation of rhyme making, cause I'm in the only genre where certain names equal to ass finish. This ain't no midlife crisis. Rhyme is one of my vices I can't kick. Whack it, got me feeling like Tyson in his prime. Optimist, KO in these good heads with ball showing. Looking like they fresh out of God milk commercials. Wiping their top lips and ears zipping. Pants tighter than flows. Wrists grow. Past some 10 commandments and weapon the rainbows. Allow me to reintroduce the world and your girl to real manhood. Cowards call it girl. Check your pedigree, ready, you better be. Ain't none next to me. Come clean, come clean. You don't want to step in the ring with your king. It's like an infrared beam. Come clean. Getting full cradle to the new slides and clothes. Y'all know what you do. Come clean. How do you trust cooking cops when they still ain't bad? Who shot Biggie and Pop? Come clean. They're doing tennis to lungs and getting taxis and they need for water. That's what they cut for it. Let them know, no eyes blow. Team glass, Willie Lynch, tip, dominoes. 400 years, tears and comatose. Walking in the port, and sheep talking. Genocidal, against make-believe rivals. Looking at queens as anything but bridal. Men wanna be women, women wanna be men. We so men uncomfortable in their own skin. Friday, got paid, Monday, flat broke. Spend every dime with the one pushing the rope for the brother in office. Was it because of your vote? Or they kicked the liquor store when they just got off a boat? Is that good job? Really a plantation? Employee of the month, yet late on your car payment?
There you go. Let's come clean, brothers. Snip it.
So yeah, let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Inspiration, you know, of the content. Let's go in, man.
Well, come clean is that one with just that. Come clean. It's about telling the truth. It's about telling the truth about all the issues on the table. It's kind of like one of those things like after you go to the therapist and you put everything on the table, you got to deal with what it is for what it is. And that song to me is like highlighting all the things that we're dealing with as a community, the hypocrisies, like I said, I said a bar of it when I said something about spend every dime with the one hoisting the rope. Like the things that we do in our own community, meaning that we spend every dime that we get with the person that's actually hanging us. I'm talking directly more about highlighting what these things are that come from the psychology of these religious beliefs that we basically okay and basically deal with every day for 400 years plus since our captivity, that we deal with every day. And it's time to come clean and highlight those things and actually put them on the table and deal with them. Remove all the confines and the blocks in our mind that we've been allowing to block our minds from dealing with them. So that song basically was about coming clean finally. Like, come clean, man. Are you really spending money with the person that's hanging you? Are you really okay with homosexuality? Like, come on, let's talk about this.
You know what? I'm actually glad that you said that, because not long ago, it was a brother who was on blast. Let me pull up his name real quick, because he was wearing a tuxedo dress, ballroom dress, you know, yeah. And it was just sad, man, that people were actually, you know, celebrating that. You know what I'm saying? Billy Porter, that's his name, Billy Porter. You know, I believe we have to dive in on this, because a lot of times people are afraid to talk about this, and I have to commend you for that, because the emasculation of our men, you know, is deeper than even homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? I believe in emasculation, and I would like for you to talk about that too, because, you know, let's dive in on it. Because emasculation is anything that actually keeps us from conducting ourselves as a man. And I believe that so many people highlight that particular part of it, but they don't want to deal with the wrong mindset that is deposited in our men about our women. You know what I'm saying? From gangster rap, calling our women female dogs and whores, and you know, having them, you know, twerking in the videos, and you know what I'm saying? They don't want to commit to a woman. You know what I'm saying? They abuse a woman verbally and physically. You know what I mean? Or the woman, she don't have a right to talk. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let's talk about that emasculation as well.
It's one of my things to talk about. I just don't have many shows to talk about this on.
Let's do it.
Yeah, for me, man, it's like, we know what it is. Those who are woke kind of pretty much know what the issue is, and we know where it's coming from. And it's coming from, first and foremost, depopulation of the earth. And first and second and foremost, it's designed to break down the first man on the planet and his position on the planet, and that to continue to break down his position on the planet. Not that he hasn't already done so in an emphatic way, but he's extending his campaign to continually break down the African man and the masculinity that he exudes, and to turn us into some femininity that will definitely sterilize us, so we won't be making kids anymore. And lose the respect level from our women. So to justify that, I remember saying something about what's her name? Will Smith's wife.
Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, I remember her saying something about that guy you just mentioned. He should have won the best dress of all time award. Yeah, like how man, come on. How do you not do that? But okay, if your child is openly claiming a rapper as his boyfriend, like, I mean, I guess you are okay with it. So it's like it's a sad situation. And I'm not homophobic because I ain't scared of nan person on this planet. I hate that term technically. Like, why would you call me scared of you because I don't like it? Like, what does that mean? Like, I have a right to have my opinion about it. That don't mean I'm scared of you. You ain't no different than any other man that I've ever seen on two legs. So what I have to be scared of?
Right, exactly.
But I don't agree with it because I don't believe God makes mistakes like that. God doesn't make you a man and then send you to earth and say, you know what? Oh, I forgot. Damn it, I was supposed to make you a woman. You know what? Go ahead and live the rest of your life as a woman. I messed up. We'll get it right on the next time. Like, I don't believe God makes that mistake. I think man makes mistakes, and people play genetic engineering, and people play GMOs, people play what you call injections, shots, all those shots and stuff, people getting estrogen, soy. They play games with that to help feminize and bring an imbalance into people that helps them to become homosexual. And I know most people will say, well, some people are born that way. No, you're not. Again, God does not make that mistake. Now, how do you explain somebody being gay when they look like they're 4 or 5 years old? Again, follow their mother's diet and check out that shot they had as a baby. What's in those injections? These people are playing games with people and acting as if this is okay from the gate because they act feminine at 5 now. You got to watch what they've been giving you. You feeding your kids cow snot and milk and cheese and dairy, and you getting shots and stuff from the doctor. It's stuff in that will make you gay. If not everyone, because it only affects certain people. Like, somebody can get a shot and their kid can have polio. That doesn't affect everybody, but certain people will succumb to it. But it's just my. I can't get down with it. I can't accept it. I'm not rocking with it. I can't do it. It's not right.
Yeah, that's why I say come clean, man. That's a show within itself, man. It really is. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's an issue with that because, the women need, and as now, not just only the women, but the child and the children. It causes confusion. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When a little boy see 2 men together, you know what I'm saying, and a little girl, you know what I'm saying? And it confuses them. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, how can I have 2 daddies? How can I have 2 mommies? You know what I'm saying? You can't even reproduce. And that's the problem I'm having, because see, if it was natural, if it went with the natural, and I can't stand when people try to use animal life, you know what I'm saying, to try to, compare it to human life. You know what I'm saying? Those are two different things. You know what I mean? 2 different things. It's like some people say, well, a gorilla, they just live off of, bananas. I'm like, okay, well, that's a gorilla. We're a human being. You know what I'm saying? So, we're 2 different beings. You know what I'm saying? Although there's some similarities, you know what I'm saying? But we're 2 different beings. You know what I'm saying? Then, they adopt, our children, you know what I'm saying? And confuse our children with that foolishness. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem. That's a problem because that's not natural. They want us to accept it like it's natural. And that's the reason why it's frowned upon, because if it was something that wasn't natural, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that's common rather, then nobody would have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? But because it's not natural, That's why people look at it in that light, because it's not natural. It's not natural for a man to be attracted to another man. There's nothing natural about that. We have the same reproduction organs, but then they get so upset with you. They get mad. They want to attack your page, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, you're gay bashing. Nobody is bashing you. We're just speaking reality. You can't teach my son how to be a man and you wearing a dress. You know what I'm saying? How can we reproduce? How can, you know, we be fruitful and multiply, you know what I'm saying, with homosexuality? You know what I'm saying? Your bloodline can't even continue with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then also, again, as our force said, even our reproductive organs prove to us that a man is meant to be with a woman and a woman is meant to be the man. It has nothing to do with anybody. You know what I'm saying? The problem I have is when you're trying to force us into embracing it, force us into accepting it, you know what I'm saying? And I never will. That's just the bottom line. I never will, because we need men to be men, to stand up and to fight wars. How can we have a man, you know what I'm saying, that's acting like a woman fight a war? Oh, wait a minute, I broke a nail. Oh my God. I mean, really, dude? You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? You know, run the enemy down in pumps? I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to keep it real. You know, that's not becoming, you know, that's not conduct becoming of a man, of a male. It's just not. Putting on lipstick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like you said, why do you have to go get implants? Why you have to go through all these surgeries? So if it was naturally your nature, then you would have been born a woman, because a woman naturally has that nature. Even a woman who may be flat-chested, she still has certain feminine features. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, for a woman that may somewhat even look like a man, there's still something scientifically, you know what I'm saying, that could be proven on the medical side about why someone even has such a masculine feature, or a man has somewhat of a feminine type of feature, like some men have hips. So it's something medically, there's something going on, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Something happened for those individuals to be in that state, and not mocking them at all, you know, the ones who do. So I don't want that to be misunderstood, because I would never do anything like that.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be clear too, that I'm not like, I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I don't care what you eat and put in your body. That is your choice. I'm not the government. I don't care what you do. But at the end of the day, my thing is when it becomes national and it's in your face, it's in public, it's all over the place. And I got to sit up here and explain to my son why two men are holding each other's hand. Why two men are walking down the street with a purse, a dress, and some high heel pumps on. Like, I don't need to explain that. That is not natural or normal. If you want to cross dress that way in your house. But that is not natural. And then to be walking, and then they all, I don't go to church, but I be at churches sometimes when I'm promoting, and I see them, they all in the church walking in that way. How in the world could you believe in a Bible or some kind of God, especially the Bible that says, like you said, be fruitful and multiply? How are you fruitful and multiplying if you're the same sex? That doesn't work. Like, how do you believe in that? How do you believe in something like that? So it's like, it's so confusing, man. But let's go to the next song.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it, my brother.
The next one I'm gonna do is "Jig Is Over."
All right.
All right, jig is over.
Yeah, the jig is over on that too.
Company niggas refusing to conform to what house niggas consider to be norm. Like hot cold, fathering coons like down Charleston. Pockets out of control, so the soul for bargain. Outfit, marching, lecturing over coffin. Run to the media, yeah, we know they be in the front. Coons to the coons, sitting coons to the coons. Spirit of a goon, machete, making it shit. Chop them like a baby, nightmares and praise. Luger to the losers, return to be retaliate. The jig is over, the jig is over. The jig is over, the jig is over. The jig is over, the jig is over. Just me, if niggas decide to retaliate. I'm not black, I'm Hebrew. Hebrew, so that officer beats you. It's not a piece of what he sees. Black, he bruise you when you laying there fetal. That's when it hits you. As you seen across the news, it has been called you black and they do not see you as a Jew, except they do. That's the irony in my pen. It's no denying me if I have to spiral a minute. I will, it's him, I will.
Perfect segue from that last song. The jig is over.
Yeah, man. The jig is over. Let's talk about it, man. I know we briefly talked about it with that particular subject, but let's take it to another level. Let's hit another arena, where the jig is over.
I mean, again, this song was written because it was an idea of just imagining, like the hook says, just think if niggas decide to retaliate. Like, just imagine if we just woke up and just started waking up and just not conforming to the norm. What if we just started? What would that look like? Us just waking up one morning and just like start non-conforming, not doing non-conforming things. Like, again, going against what we just talked about, or actually doing things to protect ourselves. So when police are beating us up, we actually not marching and going to the church and praying. We actually going to get revenge. We're going to go do something about it. We're not just going to sit up here and protest and boycott. No. What would that look like if the jig was actually over? What would that look like?
That's right.
So yeah, that was Kevin Wesley on that song. I was playing a little bit too.
Huh?
That was Kevin Wesley on that song too. That last person that was rapping, that was Kevin Wesley's version.
All right. For those of you who don't know Kevin Wesley, you might want to look that brother up as well. He's the ex-pastor. He's the one who came out, and talked about his transition from religiosity to spirituality, and he was heavily persecuted. He's a former pastor. All right. So if you look him up, you'll find him ex-pastor. That's all you got to put. Ex-pastor Kevin, Kevin, Wesley.
Right.
I believe it's Wesley, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? You want to check that brother out. He has some powerful content. He's out in the community putting in the work. In fact, he had linked up with what's his name? Ray Hagins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had linked up with him. Ray Hagins opened up the doors to him and, helped him to get on his way, from transitioning from speaking about those things. But he's on the song with our brother. Again, you want to check him out as well. He also does music too.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. You went into there, you know what I'm saying? You want to tell the people where they can go find your music. Also, I provided the link in the header of this video if you do want to purchase the album as well too. So if you don't catch everything he said, just go on to the header of this video and you'll be able to purchase the album. I definitely did it. You know what I'm saying? I purchased it. All right. So as I said before, don't rob this brother. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm not begging you. I'm not begging you at all. Don't rob this brother. He worked on this project. He put in a lot of hours and time, so he deserves his money. So let's support that brother financially, monetarily.
A lot of hours, time, creativity, and money. Because people forget it costs money to make music. People forget about that. Like, you can't just come out with a project for free. Ain't nobody giving you a stream of music in a recording session and all that stuff and mixing your music for free. So it costs money to make this music that people want for free. So yeah, please go to indigenousrhythms.com and download it, become a member there, look out for there. If you are an artist, by the way, looking to get your music out, please submit it to us also on the website so that we can kind of go through it. We are handpicking the people. We're not going to be like YouTube where you can just start uploading anything. We are going to handpick people that we want to put on or allow them to sell their products on indigenousrhythms.com along with myself. This is a platform for people that have woke entertainment to shine. So again, if you have some good music, remember, hit us up on our website, submit it, and we'll contact you and reach out to you to try to get you on there. Yes. Let's see. I guess we can do. You want to do another one?
Sure. This is the outro, family. So again, share and invite. Remember our good brother here. His name, rap name is Blasphemy. So after this song, we're gonna talk about that too, and then we're gonna end it there.
Okay. We'll end it on a high note. We do high energy.
Let's do it.
You can take an African out of Africa, but you can't take Africa out of African. Boomerang theory, you want love, then give love, live your life, don't let them kill your bugs. Like best extract the nectar from wax situations, ancestors, texture, bringing you between schools, so you can see through the pain, pushing you on to destiny's lane. Life is an experience, no need fearing it, peers an experiment, go have a collision with fear. Well, with security, ambiguity, discouraging, deterring, watch the person serve the competent star, see the giant roar, you roll to explore, the goal, up to the core, butterflies, think of cool, like baby seconds of war, insight, like filled with the sweetness of a storm, so I'm the move physically, bring the scene vividly, you calibrated chemistry, the super rhythm.
For in me. far away.
Yes, sir.
Powerful, man. Powerful. So, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that song, High Energy, man. That's that's me featuring a sister named Shay Dixon and another sister named Sienna, who has a project out now called, I think it's called Black Moon. But High Energy, man, was designed to, it's spelled high, but inner, like INNER, and then the G represents God. Like high energy, going back into yourself, tapping into that inner God. Once you come out of all of that, that unraveling, all that stuff that we talked about earlier, the come cleans, the black couch, and getting all that stuff out of your systems, and the jig is over. Because there's different levels you go through of consciousness. You come out of it and you're angry, you're mad, you're frustrated, you're upset, you're in a valley of spirituality, you're not claiming nothing left or right. But then you got to sit back and like come to that higher place and go within, because all those things anyway are external. None of them are you that I just named. So until you actually go inside of you, then you can return back to what we were talking about earlier, like Ifa and things like that, because Ifa and stuff like that are about you specifically. And then the community as a whole, as the people in the community become whole. But if you don't go to that inner you, it's going to be hard to do anything outside of what the norm is, because the norm is attached and velcro to everything external, including religions, including things we talked about earlier. All those things are external issues. None of them have to do with people on the inside. So again, tap back into the high energy within yourself, and then we all will see a better place. Because if you go to a high energy, do you really think God is okay with a homosexuality? Let's talk about that. I don't want to stay on sexuality. Do you really?
You're very passionate about it, brother. You're just passionate.
I mean, do you really think God is okay with it? You think God is cool with this situation right now? I don't think so. I just don't think so.
Yeah,
you think God is okay with it?
That's definitely going to be another program, man, because that's debatable for some. Because some will say that. You know what I'm saying? Some will say, well, why did God create me this way? You know what I'm saying? Where did I get these feelings from? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, that's really another program within itself, man. I believe it's a higher understanding about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, scientifically, because then you have hermaphrodites, if I'm not mistaken, as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think some scientifically is wrong with that too. You know what I'm saying? As well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I believe it's a medical more so issue, because that's not natural. You know what I'm saying? It's not natural. And if it's not in the flow of nature, and it's outside of the flow of nature, then it's not God. It's not the creator. It's not Olodumare. It's not.
But that's why I chose the name blasphemy, man. I know I say stuff that's, not the most popular thing to say. So, and that's what a blasphemous person is. All the great things usually start off as blasphemous anyway. All the great things rap music was blasphemous, but now it's world renowned. I mean, all the good stuff usually starts off as everybody hates it. Now, decades later, everybody loves it. So I know what I'm saying is probably not going to be popular, and I'll take the stones. It's okay. But those who understand what I'm talking about, they get it.
That's
and
right.
Those who are seeking
answers,
they'll get it too.
No doubt, man. I'm a living witness to that, because when my cousin came to me, my cousin Yusef, and he shared with me those things. At the time, I was, an elder in the ministry. You know what I'm saying? And Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Get behind me, Satan. Take your demons with you. Flee from here. Yeah. you understand? You know, and once, and I appreciate him, man. My cousin, you know, Yusuf, man. I have to send a shout out to my cousin, fam. I love you, man. I appreciate you, cousin. Thank you for all your prayers. You know what I'm saying? Because now my eyes have been open. My eye has been open. You know what I'm saying? And now I understand, you know, that I was deceived. So I appreciate a brother like you, because it was a brother like you in the form of my cousin Yusuf that helped me to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And there was also my Walemu, which means teacher for those who don't know, that helped me to wake up. You know, and when I listened to you, my brother, you know, you helped me to have a more in-depth understanding of Ifa. So I give thanks, man, you know, to Olodumare, you know what I'm saying, for, and those who don't know who Olodumare is the, you know, the creator. That's all. It's just a Yoruba word for creator. You know, some people say, you know, God, Yahweh, Allah, you know what I'm saying? You know, we just say us, my brother and I, a lot of us, we say, you know, Olodumare, you know what I mean? And the creator of all, you know. And I'm grateful for that, man, because now I'm aware of who I am, and I'm grateful, man. That's why I appreciate your ministry so much, brother. You know what I'm saying? You've helped my queen and I go to another level, man, by sharing your wisdom, you know, that the universe has shared with you.
Man, that's deep. I appreciate that, brother.
Oh yeah, man.
Put on my heart to say.
Yeah, I have to give thanks, man, because I want you to know. And fam, if you don't know, I didn't get paid to say this. So understand what I'm saying is from the heart. Like, I'm very serious about what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like brothers like you have to hear that, because your labor is not in vain. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people out there like myself, and I'm quite sure it's more, you know, that have heard messages that you teach on Good Morning Ifa. You know what I'm saying? You know, and have, you know, learned something, and has impacted their life in a positive way, because they're trying to find their way, you know, back to what we've been cut off from. And that's our spirituality, knowing ourselves, you know? So your ministry is very important to our growth, to the movement.
Man, that's deep. I appreciate that. I just do it what's on my heart, brother. That's it. I didn't anticipate all that, but I just basically do what's coming from the heart, and how I wish I would have been able to receive it when I was getting into it. So I'm glad it's touching some people. So it gives me motivation to keep going with it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you do, bro, because we need more artists like you out there, you know, that's saying something positive, you know, that's saying something that's going to transform our minds, you know, and that's going to empower us and encourage us to love ourselves, you know what I'm saying, which is loving each other. And I tell people that all the time. You know, self-love is not just you taking care of yourself individually, but loving your people, you know what I'm saying, as a whole.
With the ups and the downs that comes along with it.
Yeah. The misunderstanding.
You know what I'm
Oh yeah, brother, the misunderstanding, like you said, you know, our names being cast out to be false prophets. And, you know, that don't move me, because when I was a Christian, I would have said that too. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I understand. I understand the mindset that they have. That's why I say I'm not going to debate with you, because if you're not trying to learn, there's nothing for us to talk about. Because I certainly don't believe in what you believe in, and it's obvious you don't believe in what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that everybody has their season in order for their mind to evolve. You know what I'm saying? I believe there's a season for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And some people are not ready, you know what I'm saying, to receive what it is that you have to say. But I tell you what, we are. Our Kevlar Unity Alliance, we appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. We had this conversation at my listening party. I think, was it last Sunday? Not this Sunday, just past the Sunday before, but we had this conversation about that. They were asking me who was I trying to reach with my music, and I told them I'm looking for the people who basically are searching for answers. Definitely those who are in the midst of the answer, and those who are living the answer. But those who are, you know, I'll say I don't want to call people lost, but at the same time, you know, that old lady could be me or your grandmother that's sitting in the front of the church with the big hat on. I can't reach her, and I'm not necessarily looking to reach her at this moment. But like you said, people like that's so wholeheartedly down, diehard Christian Jesus fans, you're not going to reach them. Not with one song alone. Like, you're not going to reach them. And I can't focus on that. All I could focus on was the people like me back when I was younger. Like I told you, when I was 12, and it led into that movement of hip hop where we had conscious music that led me to gravitate to that music, because I was already trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? My mind was already trying to figure it out. So when it came out, I gravitated to that. And I grew up in LA in the heart of gangster rap. And at that time, it was like, that didn't move me like that, even though I'm from this environment. I gravitated to X-Clan, Brother Jay, Public Enemy. You know what I mean? So, that's who I'm looking for, those people who are looking for those answers. And when they
Arrested Development. I got to give Arrested Development a shout out. Arrested Development, man. You know what I'm saying? I love their music, even to this day.
Yeah. You know that brother's a Christian
and
preacher.
KRS-One. Yeah, KRS-One. Oh, really?
Yeah. The one from Arrested Development. He a preacher now.
Wow, check that out.
It blew my wig too. I was like, what? But yeah, he's a Christian preacher now.
Man, went in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying?
The opposite direction.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. You know, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. It'll mess us up if we're not careful. You know, we'll think that we're on the wrong path when we're really on the right path, because this is the path that we've always walked. You know what I'm saying? And so many people, that's why I respect what you're doing. You know, what you're doing is a very bold move. You know what I'm saying? It's a very bold move to make, you know, to go against the grain, to go against what's popular, you know, to save our people. You know what I'm saying? And to be that sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? To be that sacrifice, to be that one that gets crucified truly to save our people. You know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm X did, and Marcus Garvey and Fred Hampton, you know, and Winnie Mandela. You know what I'm saying? You know, Queen Zinga. You know what I'm saying? You know, individuals like that who truly did lay down their lives to save our people. That's true. Those were truly the saviors, man, to me. You know, Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Nat Turner, you know what I'm saying? Thomas Sankara, Julius Nyerere. You know, those to me were truly the saviors, man. They truly went to go save our people and to teach our people to love ourselves, man. That's the true salvation. We got to get delivered from this Eurocentric mindset, and people they just don't want to deal with that. Oh, let's be positive. Let's everybody kumbaya, you know, and people don't understand. If those Caucasians were truly about freedom, then they will have no problem with us being who we are. Why are we always fighting to be us? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the issue I have. The problem I have is that they're always trying to stop us from being us. And that's the reason why we have to pull a card and say, you hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't persecute us, you know what I'm saying, like you do if you truly were a bona fide Christian. Because I may not be one, but I know one thing it says in there: to love. You see what I'm saying? To love. and you literally go in the temple that's called the church that you say that you say you're a Christian, but you go right inside of the church and you kill people. You bomb them. You know what I'm saying? You burn them up in the church. The same place of worship that you say is supposed to be the house of God, but you went to go blow up the house of God, and you went to go blow up the children of God. You know what I'm saying? I thought for God so loved the world. You know what I'm saying? What happened to that? For God so loved the world. So if you're really a Christian, which they say that they are, and they have a cross, then why aren't you loving the world then? See, that's the problem I have with people that say that they're Christian when they ostracize you and reject you. And that's the problem I have with that religion, because now they cut you off because, oh, he's worshiping the devil, and you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, it's amazing how Ephah teaches us to love. You know what I'm saying? We don't reject our family because they're Christian. We don't reject our family because they're Muslim. You know what I'm saying? We embrace them. We love them. You know what I'm saying? We pray for them. But it's amazing how they treat us like a plague, though. But we're the ones with the problem.
Because they believe in a jealous God. You know that. You know what I'm saying? Their God is jealous. How you going to be claiming something else when my God is jealous? You got to believe in what we believe in, or I can't rock with
you. Yeah, man, you know, that's the truth, man. And they don't recognize, and I understand. That's the reason why it's important for us to shed light on these things. You know what I'm saying? And one day they'll wake up and understand these things. You know what I'm saying? They don't even pay attention to, oh, if you wear gold, you're going to go to hell. But yet the Bible even tell you in Revelations that the streets are paved with gold. You know what I'm saying? The gates are made with gold. It even say the 4 and 20 elders all fell down, casting down their golden crowns. And see, that's the reason why I say that religion dumb you down, because they're telling you you can't go to a place wearing these things, but yet these things exist in that place where they say you can't go to. You see, like, where's the logic? And then the priest, even in the Old Testament, tell you that they wore gold. Their plates that had jewels that represented the 12 tribes were jewels. But they tell you, oh, if you wear that, you going to hell. They even say, oh, if you listen to music, oh, you can't play music. But yet it says that they blew trumpets. Hey, they blew trumpets. But if you use an instrument, you're going to hell. But yet in heaven, it says they had trumpets and they blew the trumpet. You see what I'm saying? But people don't pay attention to that, though. They don't pay attention to that. They don't pay attention to that. If a woman toe show, you know what I'm saying, then she gonna go to hell. Like, okay, so God is supposed to forget everything, all the good works this woman did just because her toe showing. Forget that she fed her children. She, you know what I'm saying, she did right by her husband. You know what I'm saying? She did good in the earth. Oh, she not gonna make it because her shoulder showing, her arm showing, her toe showing, her face showing. Oh, she got covered herself, and if she not fully covered, then she gonna burn forever. See, I have a problem with that, man. I have a problem with the dogma, these opinions. They don't recognize that they're following these same things, but they follow after traditions and doctrines and commandments made after men. These things are not divinely inspired. They're man inspired. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay attention. Oh, the Bible says obey the law of the land. But the law of the land says homosexuality is okay. Now what?
Shoot, the law of the land said slavery was okay at some point.
Oh man, let's save that. Let's leave that alone, man. Let's touch on another subject, man. Yeah, you know that. We're gonna have to do this in another session, man. we have to go in on that, because see, they don't want to pay attention to that either. Segregation was the law of the land. Jim Crow was the law of the land. Huh? Mm-hmm. Just like you said, making a man work for no pay was the law. So it's really not about what the law of the land is, it's about what's moral. It's about what's moral. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Is it moral for you to kick your son out or your daughter out because they don't want to go to the same place of worship as you? I know children, you know what I'm saying, that parents made them leave the house because they didn't want to go to church. And they call that the love of God. Because last time I checked, it says, whosoever is willing, let them come, right? Choose ye this day whom you shall serve. What about those verses? What happened to that?
What about the verse that says that the God is not even in the church? How about that?
Wow.
You ever read that? Let's
talk about that.
It says something about God.
You talking about Ichabod?
I'm gonna see if I can share it with you. Hold on. I'm gonna see. Can I? No, it ain't gonna show it to me. It's I think it's in Acts. It says God does not dwell in a place that a man's hands have built.
Oh yeah, I know that verse. Yeah, it says, know ye not that you are the temple of the living God. You know what I'm saying? It says you are the church of the living God. You know what I'm saying? The church of the living God, the pillar and ground of truth. It says, know ye not that you are the temple of the Holy Spirit? He said, upon this rock I build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that these preachers are always saying, this is my pulpit, this is my church, or I'm going down to Pastor so-and-so church? And what happened is, when they take ownership of that, now what they do is start treating it like it's theirs. You see? Now they start, you know, treating it like it's theirs. They start treating people, you know what I'm saying, like they belong to them. Oh, those are my sheep. Those are my sheep. The last time I checked, he said, my sheep hear my voice and they come following after me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isn't that what it says?
Right. It's a tangle.
So that's why. Yeah, man. You know, so I have to deal with that because it's just a lot of hypocrisy, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, these are my sheep. You know what I'm saying? Oh, obey your father. You got people actually walking around here, you know what I'm saying, calling this man. And I know in Ifa, you know, Baba, is symbolic of a spiritual father. You know what I'm saying? So Babalua. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's a spiritual position, you know, but when you say that you're you know, a sheep or a lamb, you know what I'm saying? That means you can't function on your own. You always got to be told what to do. You can't defend yourself against a wolf. You need the shepherd to come with his staff to defend you. You know what I'm saying? You are without defense, you know what I'm saying, without a man. And so many of them, oh, if you don't go to this church, you're going to hell. I heard people say that. Oh, if you leave here, God is going to, you know, strike you. You know, it's this manipulation and control, man. You know what I'm saying? Manipulation and control. When you divinely ordained by the universe, why do you got to pay a fee? Why you got to pay a fee, an annual fee for, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man, you know, we gotta leave that alone, man. We could go deep on this thing, bro, because it's so much man-made stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had to leave it alone. I'm like, wait a minute. I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. You know what I'm saying? You know, my gifts of callings are without repentance, all these things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see where no prophet you know what I'm saying, had to pay a license fee to function in his gift or her gift. You know what I'm saying? They just spoke what was said to them, and that was it. What's up with all this man-made stuff, man?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the anointing came upon these people, and the Creator started using them. They didn't need no man permission to speak, you know, the words of the Most High. All that stuff is man-made. All that stuff is man-made. All of it, man.
Yeah.
That's why I feel about it, man.
And that's why they got to go get the Pulpit project so they can start getting some information and start waking up and start going to dig in, research, figure it out for themselves. I mean, we can't save everybody. Only those who want to be saved will be saved, but at least we can plant seeds and hopefully they'll be watered later on and people will wake up later on in this lifetime. If not, they may have to come back and get it. That's a sad truth, but it's the truth.
Yeah, you know what, you're right, man. So family, with that being said, again, make sure you click on the link in the header of this video. Again, by our brother project, the Pulpit, brother Jasir. Hip hop name is blasphemy. I know some of you gonna run when you hear that. Some of you scared. Brothers and sisters and elders gonna run. But I promise you this, if you listen to the content that our brother is sharing, you'll understand where he's coming from. I think that's the problem. I'm be honest with you. A lot of us don't really take out the time to understand where a person is coming from. And we come to a conclusion before we know the whole matter and end up misjudging somebody because we haven't taken out the time to get a better understanding about what he or she has said. So with that being said, we thank you all for tuning in on tonight. Remember, brothers, Jasir in the building, the Pulpit. Bruh, if you'll be so kind to tell everybody the various social media outlets where they can find you at. That'd be great.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube at Indigenous Rhythms LLC. Indigenous Rhythms LLC. And of course, don't forget, you can always go to the website, indigenousrhythms.com for all the music, shows, dates and times, tickets. If you want to get any merchandise, hats, t-shirts like these and other things that we have for sale, you can go ahead and support there. But please do something to support. Because people like me and good artists want to make good music for everybody, but it's hard to make good music when you can't get supported. And that's why the condition of music is what it is right now. It's hard to keep going when you're not getting supported. And no, streams do not support. So please go download the project. It comes out, the full project comes out April 19th. On indigenousrhythms.com only. It will not be on any streaming platforms, no Spotify, iTunes, none of that. It's just going to be strictly downloadable at indigenousrhythms.com.
All right, and also remember, go to this page, Good Morning E5. My brother teaches sessions there as well. I provided the link. Our brother definitely teaches some spiritual lessons that will help you to evolve in your spiritual life. Remember, you cannot neglect your spirit man. It is imperative that you ensure that your spirit man gets the proper spiritual nutrition that you need so you won't be spiritually malnutrition. Okay, so you need some wholesome teaching that's going to help you to have a spiritual solid base in your life. If you're looking for that, definitely go follow our brother on Good Morning E5. All right. Peace, love, and power, family. Peace.
I'll share the work.